morning is so beautiful. This looks like the moon. I just finished testing the mic and it actually sounds great. And I'm sitting outside. I was supposed to do this video hours ago when the sun was beaming. Don't start. And now it's gotten chilly and the sun is going down and all my neighbors are home now. This is Dory, if you don't know her. Can you be quiet while I do this? Go play with something. So today is February 22nd, 2022, according to the calendar that everyone is agreeing to go by. The sun was out earlier. I think I can take these off. It's not beaming in my eye anymore. I actually probably won't put an introduction on here. You know, what is a person? That's gonna be my introduction. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull a card for energy of the moment and motivation. Some motivational words of something. It took a lot of motivating for me to sit down and record this video. That's why I have these nails on. I got out of my fake nail craze a while back, but I still have a few of them. So in order to get me in the mood for this reading, I put some nails on and got cute. Can you please leave me alone? I'm gonna lock you in the house. I have no choice but to lock you in the house if you continue. You really gonna do that? Okay. So now I gotta close the window. So I had to put Dory away. Very grateful for her interruption as it allowed me to regroup. There's definitely gonna have to be a blooper section, but we are gonna make the video and we are gonna publish it no matter what. So yeah, let's get into it. The cards that we have today is True Heart Intuitive Tarot, which is by Rachel True, if you know Rachel True. Yeah, she's from the movie The Craft, of course, and she made this deck maybe about 2 years ago, I think. She's also in Half Baked and Half and Half, if you've seen that. But yeah, this is a deck that she made. I feel really nervous about this because I feel like all my neighbors can hear me. I'm just going to speak in a low voice and know that all is well. I wish there was like a 2-card spread. I like 2 cards. It's like 1-3 Celtic Cross and 11 card spread and a 5 and a 10. I have this motivation app that I've been using on my phone, and it's really, really helpful. I think it's called Motivation app. So we are just gonna see what comes up. If we get some kind of motivation, some kind of inspirational or something. So we most need to hear. What is it that would be most motivating to us in this moment? Oh. I keep forgetting to look at the camera. I'm gonna regret that when I go back and review this tape. So we just got 1 card come up so far. And if that's it, then that's it. That's it. I don't know about that. Oh. This was 2 cards. Okay. So I'm just taking a moment, as I always do when I do a reading, and just pause and take a good look at the imagery and just feel it and examine, not on too much of a thought level, but just really visually dive into it. And my first thoughts are of taking flight the Prince of Swords, he has wings, and he's clearly already up in the air, on his, in this card. And as well as in the Six of Swords, she is still bound in a way, but she's also on a flight of her own. She's being lifted and carried by these six birds. You could even, move it and read it this way if need be. But yeah, I think that this is about taking a leap of faith. The prince he is already in flight. He is youthful, and in the Six of Swords, she is not as confident. She hasn't fully released herself. She is still being carried and guided. She has not yet developed her own wings. So there's still a bit of fear, a bit of trepidation, a bit of I see all these swords and these barriers in the way, and you're telling me to just let go, and I don't see it yet. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. But sometimes, and I think that's the motivation that we need, is like, you don't have to see it. You're gonna go right there, or you're gonna go. I mean, there's really no option, and there's nothing wrong with being led, being carried, trusting in your guides, in your spirit, prayer, doing your self-work, whatever it is that is going to carry you through, that's going to build your courage, that's going to assist you, whatever it is you need to call on. You're going to go, and it may be scary to lift off, but what's worse than going is not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to be back in the water? And I don't think so. I don't think so. Never fear. Never fear. Because the motivation that you need in this moment, I think, is the Prince of Swords, is that angel, that guidance, that feeling that you've been in this place before. And I think that's why this card is, here instead of here. I think because you know that you have been in this place before, and each of these places, they're just phases, they're things, they're experiences that we have. You go through this and you go through it, that's that life. That's life. I was gonna say another word, but that is life. So you have been here before, and that is that may be the motivation that you need in this moment, is to know that you can transform. You will transform. You will continue to, over and over and over and over again. You know the power that you have in you. You know your strength. You know your achievements. You know what you have done before with the power of your word, which is also the sword, which is a word I don't really like to say, but yeah, this is also the power of your word. Here, you know what you can do with your words, with your thoughts, with your mind, with your intentions. So yeah, think about that. Focus on that. Even if you have to sit down and write all the achievements and the accomplishments and the things that you have done, the things that you have overcome, those things that looked like barriers before, when you were in places like this before and you thought, I can't do this, but you did, because you're here. So to know that that's what we do in life. We have to go back to things sometimes that we maybe thought that we have healed or overcome, or places, you know, things like that, whether it be in our mental space or our emotional space or whatever the case may be. It's like, oh, I'm in this place again, you know, I was whatever. And it's like, yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna get one more card, but I remember that this card, I dropped this one, I think, when I saw that there were already 2 cards, and I said I wasn't going to take this, but I'm glad that I turned it over and looked and saw this card. This card was actually in my reading last night. So it's beautiful to see her again. Beautiful Queen of Swords, and this is a transformational space that you will get to after overcoming this. You know, sometimes you have to go through these. You have to face these walls, these challenges, these blockages, whatever these obstacles may be for you. You have to be in that. You have to wallow in that, drown in that, whatever, but not really drown. Or maybe, but you come out of that phase, and you learn from what you did in that you in that shadow phase, and you don't leave her behind. You integrate each part of that. You know what I'm saying? You level up. This is a Prince of Swords to the Queen of Swords. Yes, you were here, and sometimes when you're here, you're looking back like, oh my God, I was this before, I did this before, I blah 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 blah, and here I am facing all this shit again. Basically, all these challenges again, whatever those things. You're like, yeah, I'm still facing all this shit, but don't look. You can look back and say, use that for motivation, as said before, but don't look back in sorrow. Don't look back with grief and with loss for who you were, or who you had been, or how you looked, or what you did. You know what I'm saying? Don't look back in sorrow when you're in this place, because guess what? You are now in this place to prepare you for this, just like you probably were in some other shit here, some 5 of Swords shit here, to get you to that. So now you're here to get you to this, and I'm shivering because it's cold out here now. The wind is blowing, so I'm just going to end this and before I freeze. It's probably not that cold to most people. It's like in the 60s, but the wind is blowing. My hands are cold. I have on this dress and this thin jacket because I was trying to look cute. So I hope that came across in a proper way. Again, this is True Heart Intuitive Tarot. This is her guidebook. It's a very good book. I really like that this came with the deck and how she writes. Maybe I'll go into that at another time. But anyway, that was this moment, this day, this time. Thanks for watching. I hope I recorded all of that. Okay, so I just finished recording a video for YouTube. It's a tarot reading video. I was super nervous. I'm still nervous. I find it so weird to talk to a camera and like not an actual person or people, or even now. Okay, I forget that I'm recording. It's just so weird. But I did it. I recorded a video, and I'm recording this to say that I'm gonna post, even if I sound horrible, which I'm afraid of. I have to go watch the footage now and edit it. So yeah.